What's up guys, this is Slot Player. Considering that the last video about cheating on roulette was quite popular, today I will tell you a story about the oldest way of cheating, Three Shells game. If there is anyone that doesn't know that yet, Three Shells game is that fraud where a player needs to find a ball under a cup, or a shell, or a matchstick box, which is the most popular version where I come from. They say that this fraud, it's not a game, it is a fraud, so I'm deliberately using that word, dates all the way back to the ancient Greece. Which would mean that the same trick has been used to take money from naive and greedy people for over 2 millennia. Books and paintings throughout the history refer to that fraud, and it seems that it was the most popular during the 19th century in time of Industrial Revolution. For example, in this painting from the middle of that century that shows the horse races at Derby, cons running the shell game are taken a good part of the composition. Anyways, from the mathematical point of view, even if it wasn't a fraud, Three Shells game would have been a rip-off. Because there are three possible outcomes, but the promised payout that never happens is only double the bet. That would make the house advantage of 33%, but in reality it is 100%, meaning there are absolutely no chances whatsoever that the conman will ever pay anyone. Even those stories that they will let a player win a little bit at the beginning so they start betting more are mostly not true. Conman will not give you a single chance because the reasoning is that the victims will try to win back what they lost in the first try, and that really happens quite often. So, the first fact to know is that the conman running the game is never working by himself as it appears to be. All so-called players are part of the same team. Here are 8 of them. They almost could have played 5-on-5 football, but I guess separating people from their money is easier activity. So I guess it is natural to see in the middle of Stockholm a few nice guys having fun playing the game. They win, they lose, they win again, all until they get in a victim, usually a tourist or a naive local that has never heard of the fraud, to join the game. Then these poor and naive victims will have no chance of winning whatsoever and can say bye-bye to their money even before they take it out of the wallet. So it's good to always keep in mind the old poker proverb that goes something like this: if you don't see the sucker at the table, then it is you. Same goes for the Three Shells game. Second thing to know is that there is no way to find a ball. In most cases it will not even be under any of the shells. Don't forget that the trick master running the game is magician at the same time, and he will pick up the ball and keep it in his hand so it cannot be seen. So it doesn't really matter which shell or cup you open, none of them will be having the ball underneath most of the time. The real masters of their trade will do a perfect double trick to make the victim believe he has seen the ball when the conman clumsily makes the mistake when performing a switch. So the victim will be sure to know where the ball is because he has just seen where the conman tried to trick him and swap the ball. And then the victim will decide to punish the conman for that mistake because conman deserves that for trying to trick him. They say you can't cheat an honest man, and at the end people that think they have realized that trick and try to take an advantage of it will get punished at the end. Oh, I almost forgot. Pay attention to that guy that opens the empty shell after a conman swapped it in the last moment in front of everybody. He is part of the team as well. The move serves to convince the potential losers that the guy was not careful, and if they pay attention to the conman not to swap the shells, they will surely win. In case conman leaves the ball under one of the shells and the victim jumps in and chooses the right shell, there will always be a team member that will put his foot on the same shell as well. Or the conman will claim that the minimum bet is double to what the player has offered and that therefore it cannot be accepted. Okay, here is the answer to the video title. Can you cheat the cheaters? One young and aspiring magician told me of an interesting way a long time ago. He said that since the ball is not under any of the shells, then a player should put his foot on one of them and then tell to somebody to open the other two, which will be empty for sure. It can't be the conman opening the empty shells because he could sneak the ball in from his hand. Now those two shells will be empty, then surely the one still covered with the foot must be the winning one. And conman can't risk to open that one too. Now I'm not really convinced that this would be a smart move. Most likely if you do that, conman team will beat the crap out of you. Remember, there are always a few of them working together. So I do not recommend such an adventure, but rather don't bother with it and simply just walk away if you see the conman team in action. It is definitely better to give some money to street musicians. If you decide to watch some action after all, then just be careful of the pickpockets and pay attention to your wallets. It seems that harder times are coming for the Three Shells conman. Because of internet, even younger generation know that this is a scam. But also conmen are keeping up with the times and coming up with new scams. So if you receive an email that your long lost uncle that you have never heard of just died and left you 3 million, or you receive a message from Prince of Nigeria that needs a bit of your money to help him win his country back, be careful. Those are modern day conmen. I recently got an email from PayPal to click on their link. The only thing, it was not from PayPal but rather from PayPay. with capital I at the end instead of an L. Capital I and small L letters look exactly alike, so be extremely careful and don't fall for these kind of scams. Three Shells game also has versions done with discs or cards. Those are called 3-card Monty. What is common to all these scams is that players have absolutely no chances to win anything. To be honest, I was also young and naive, and long time ago I lost 20 Deutschmarks. It was on the 3-card Monty version where the master of the trade bent the edge of the card and tricked me into the game, just like in this video. So, if you have had experience with Shell or Monty games, please write it in comments. If you are interested to know more about honest casino games, check out my videos about roulette or blackjack. Guys, if you play only for fun and only with money you can afford to lose. If you think this video was interesting, please subscribe to the channel. There will be many more videos on gambling and casino games coming up. That's it for today from Slot Player, guys. Take care.